Our next speaker is a young man that I met by phone and by Zoom calls, et cetera, et cetera. His name is LaQuincey Reed. He was the sculptor. Come on up here, LaQuincey. LaQuincey was the sculptor of this beautiful statue you're going to see shortly, and he's got a resume that will, knock your socks off. But I just wanted to say a couple of things about him. He was a teacher for quite some period of time, and after his time as a sculpture assistant, LaQuincey worked in the public schools as an art teacher for 9 years. He taught middle school and high school art in Oklahoma City public schools system and in, apropos, Jones, Oklahoma. Is that right? Yep. Okay. Through the years as a teacher and assistant, he built his portfolio and career by entering juried exhibitions across the country from New York City to California and through commissioned art. He is a man of great talent, and he's a man of great caring. We got to become, I think, pretty good friends through this process from afar, and he was just wonderful to talk to on the phone, and wonderful to talk to about the statue and what he was doing. And then he educated me, like he would his students, about what was going on and how to take place. So I am so glad he and his wife, Anna, there she is, were able to make it to this dedication. So, LaQuincey Reed.
So, first off, I want to thank the family for entrusting me with this opportunity of sculpting Miss Alberta Jones. I'd also like to thank her sorority, the Zetas, for entrusting me with this opportunity as well, and for Michael O'Connell and the city of Louisville for, providing this opportunity for me to be here and to sculpt this sculpture for the community. I do want to say that one thing that's really stood out with the mayor's speech was legacy, and with every sculpture that I sculpt, I know that I'm leaving a part of a legacy in the works that I make, but even more importantly through that, the people that I love, the people that I care, the people that I educate, the people that I meet through my artistic career, I hope that I'm leaving a little bit of a positive legacy in their own lives. And amongst the crowd, this is one of the biggest unveilings I've ever had, and I just want everybody to kind of look around and see all the people that you can interact with and realize that much like Alberta Jones in her short life, you can leave a little bit of a positive legacy in everyone that you meet. So I hope that everyone takes that with them and enjoys the sculpture. Please come up to me and say hi, because I get really awkward at these things. So please, please, please come say hi to me. Thank you.
I think he wore that sport coat, so you won't have trouble finding him to speak with him.
First, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you even putting forth the effort to do this, but could you talk a little bit about the process for putting this together, how long it took, and how did you get started?
So I want to say thank you to the community of Louisville for embracing this project and putting it all together, especially the family of Alberta and Michael O'Connell. In terms of putting it all together, it all starts with, on my end, sculpting, finding resource images. So I was scouring newspaper articles. I was looking all over the internet trying to find images of Alberta, and then from there I sculpted it in clay. I'll make a mold from that clay, and that mold gets sent to a foundry, and the foundry will do the lost wax casting process, and they'll cast it in bronze, and After they cast it in bronze, we're ready to install.
Now, you talked earlier about this being one of your biggest unveiling, but could you talk a little bit about how many statues you've done, and where this one, how this one may be different than the others that you've done?
Yeah. So I believe last time I counted, it's around 30 commissions for places in Oklahoma and here in Louisville and Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I have some pieces in the Philippines even. But this one here is special to me just simply because of, the people that put it together were the family, and we had Mike O'Connell, who's he wanted to put an exclamation point on his career, and this, I believe, and he might agree with me, but I think it's one of the highest points of his career as a prosecutor, was putting this together to honor somebody and share a story that not very many people know outside of Louisville, and hopefully this sculpture goes outside the state and more people can know her story.
Speaking of knowing her story, how much did you know about her personally before this, and I guess how much did you learn about her in order to, just about maybe even her personality and things like that, in order to make this?
So beforehand, I've never been to this part of the country, had no knowledge of Miss Alberta Jones, so didn't know very much, but I've got to meet the family, got to know what kind of person she was through meeting the family, talking to her, hearing stories about Miss Flora going and watching her try cases and things of that nature, and then just reading and watching the different documentaries that had been produced about her life, and that's kind of where I got the insight to kind of who she was.
My last question is that you talked a little bit earlier about Mike O'Connell, had this being a defining moment for his career. Talk a little bit about this statue and where this ranks for your career and among some of the works that you've done.
So this one's very important to me. This is the largest sculpture of a woman activist that I've done. I've done life-size sculptures, but this is larger than life, 8 feet tall. I don't know if you're going to meet very many 8 feet tall women in your life. So this is definitely the biggest sculpture that I've done of a woman that was an activist, especially a civil rights activist.
I do have one more. Where do you think, for this community, this statue will stay here for, till the end of time? But can you talk a little bit about what this will impact on the community?
Well, I think it just highlights another person that's important for the community, another person for people to look up to, aspire to be, and just a deepening of the knowledge and the history that's ingrained and important for this community.